All right, and it looks like we are now ready to begin Battle of Olympus.
Hey everyone. So I'm Karma, and on my couch crew we have Crims and Avix to help with commentary, and for moral support we have Mouse and PresJPolk. We'll go ahead and get right into this. The winners of the bid war were Jotaro in all lowercase. I'll respect that. Whoops, wow. Menu input errors. Oh my god. And then I believe Agatha was the winner for the heroine.
That's correct. Thank you very much for everybody who donated.
Very much. I've been watching the donation wars since they started, and that's been a fun ride for me.
Yeah, round of applause, everyone.
So the timer will start as soon as I hit start on this screen. So 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the Battle of Olympus. A lot of you will probably recognize that it looks very similar to Zelda 2, and that is not a mistake. This game was made by 3 people, a husband and wife combo, as well as the composer from River City Ransom. So this was made about a year after, as kind of an homage to that, and in combination with Greek mythology. So one unfortunate thing about this run is that we do have to farm quite a bit of currency. The currency in this game is olives, and we need a total of 130 of them. So the best screen to do that is conveniently right next to where we start, and hopefully these slimes stop bullying me. There we go. I'm trying to kill them near the same area because they remember the horizontal position that they died in. So now if you see them spawning on the top right there, we can actually just walk back and kill them all in one swing. And hopefully they'll stay like that. And here we go. All right, so we need a total of 130. And with the way the olive drops work, we have a 1/4 chance of getting an olive. We have a 1/4 chance of getting a bay leaf for the area to start. But once we hit 100 total drops, and that could be 40 olives, and 60 bay leaves, or any other combination that adds up to that, our drop rates get cut up into 1/8 instead. So we definitely want to try and space out the farms as much as we can. So with that logic, I've found that the best luck I've had has been with 45, 45, 40-ish. Let's see. I don't think there's much to add beyond that, unless, Crim, you have anything to say?
The best thing about it is we do actually come across this grind area 3 times throughout the course of the game, so it actually conveniently works into the routing. Otherwise, it would be a lot more difficult to try to figure out where to route this, because if it weren't for this screen, actually running this game would be a nightmare as a speedrun, just because of the olive and the Bailey flux. So definitely this screen makes everything convenient for us. Even in the 100% run, we come across this specific screen just enough to where we can farm all the olives needed. So definitely a convenient screen.
Yeah, and in any percent, we need 130. In 100%, we need 320. So lots of olives to be had. I think we have time for a donation really quickly before I get 45.
Alrighty. Thank you very much, Enfonius, for the $20 donation.
Hi, Enf.
Hey, Karma. Good luck on your Battle of Olympus speedrun. We are going to be watching and supporting your run. Don't forget us. Sincerely, Ignition.
I won't. Love you guys. So here we're going to go talk to Zeus. And we're going to need to jump over this bowl. It's a pretty tight jump. And we got it. Perfect. So Zeus here is actually going to enable us to even speak to the other gods. Without speaking to him, if we were to go talk to any of the other gods, they're like, who are you? Go away. We're going to talk to him one more time here to get a password. And the passwords are important because when you die in this game, you get 2 options. Continue and retry. Let's go for the bull jump again. Woo! Oh, nope. Not quite. Not the worst thing, though, because we only take 2 damage. As long as we don't get hit both ways, we should be fine. So when you hit continue, you respawn at the last entrance to the area that you came in through. And you lose half of your olives, which is kind of a big deal when you're trying to keep a hold of them. So if you hit retry, it takes you back to the last password that you got from a god. And so that lets you retain your olive count. So we definitely want to get those in a marathon safe run. For any percent, we would skip all of them, and if we just die anytime we need olives, that would be too much of a time loss anyway, so we just reset. But this isn't quite record attempt, so gonna take a little, jumped at the right time anyway. So our next stop here is going to be to Argolis. Our intent is going to be to pick up the sandals from Hermes, but he's not home right now. In this cave, there are 2 bats that could theoretically hit us if I do everything right here. This one up here is one of them, and it was nice. Jump early to bait those bats, and oh no, that's fine. Little detour here. We're actually going to come out through this way. I jumped a little bit too early, and we got the nice bat pattern, which is actually more dangerous for the jump itself, because it means we have to do a crouching swing to get through the snake. Oops, a little too slow there.
That was actually the best pit for Karma to fall into. Any other of the pits would have actually caused her to need to retry because she would have ended up dying and losing half of her olives. So
Yeah.
of all the pits, that's actually the good one to fall into.
Oh, what? Surprise, Hermes not here, so tells us we got to go back to Zeus, right where we just were.
Yes, just like Zelda 2, we do have Fetch Quest.
Yep. Thankfully, the nice thing about this is that it does take us right by the next farming screen, so guess what we're doing? Ooh, olives forever.
Karma and I are already there. I can pretty much assume that everyone is going to be sick of the Arcadian music by the end of this run.
It gives me
I
nightmares.
don't blame you.
I hear this music in my nightmares. Lucky olive drop there. So while we're going to set up the farm again, I do have a few shout outs to give. First to Breakdown SDA, because if Breakdown did not have that write-up on the SDA forums that Darkwing Duck pointed me to, I would have never really had any foundation for a route. And Breakdown created that route off of, let's see, it was Ark's no left and right task. So thank you, Ark, for that as well. Also, big thanks to Feasel for helping confirm the sanity of the Divine Sword in this route. 70 of the olives that we farm are going to that sword, and we definitely spent a lot of time trying to route it out, but it just wound up not being a very smart idea. Let's see. And then definitely huge shout outs to Crim for helping with commentary here, and also actually finding quite a bit of improvements. I hope I pointed in the right direction. I can't see behind me.
You're good.
Okay. And then definitely shout outs to anybody who has run this with me. So Crip, who had a run at ESA, thank you. And then Saber, who got a run up on the leaderboards recently, also thank you. And then I know Zaki had a run of this at one point, and I think there are a few people that I'm missing, but it's always nice to have other people running the game. Just, you know, watch any or tricks that they might come up with. Was there anything that I was missing there, Crim?
In terms of shoutouts, I don't think so, but one thing I did want to mention here, because it is going to be important later, is you'll notice that even if bay leaves are the only things that drop, we are picking them up. That is because until we pick an item up that an enemy drops, that enemy will not respawn. And that is critical because later on we will hope an enemy drops an item so it doesn't respawn and totally mess us up. So there is a reason that Karma is going and picking up every single item.
Aside from the fact that they're all stacked up in one clump anyway, and
Well,
there's
that
no
too.
way I could actually pick up only the olives, but that is definitely a very valid reason. Oh, missed one. I think we have enough time for a couple donations here as well.
Very good. Thank you very much, Magical Hades, for the $25 donation. Seeing how happy running things here makes people, I feel inspired to donate. My best friend lost his father to cancer, and I hope this helps even a little.
Thank you, Hades. Well, not something I expected to say while playing this game.
Yeah, you mentioned Hades. So what Greek legend is this based on anyway?
Crim can explain.
This is actually based around the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, where Eurydice was captured by Hades and taken into the underworld to be his bride. They changed it a little bit. It is no longer Eurydice, it is actually just Helen. And she is taken and turned to stone after being bitten by a poisonous snake, and is actually a statue outside of Hades' resting place. So it's based around that Greek lore.
So here we're going to pick up the sandals from Hermes, and these have two important effects. The first, well, we're first going to grab a password really quick. The first effect is that we now jump higher, so the bull jump on the way back is going to be a lot easier. The second is that it actually allows us to walk on ceilings in some screens. And the way jumps work in this game, the length of time that you hold the A button for has no effect on your jump height. The only thing that affects your jump height is your momentum. Here we are in the Peloponnesian Forest, whatever you pronounce that. So here we're using the sandals to stay up on the ceiling away from where the birds spawn. I'm gonna let go of the D-pad here to hopefully get a good pattern, and we did. Then we'll hop over here. You can actually use the iframes of enemies to pass through them very effectively in this game, and we will be using that quite a bit. So here's a damage boost. Normally you're supposed to have the Staff of Fennel and hit it with fire, but if you turn around at the last second, you can actually just pass right through it. All right, so we're in pretty good shape right now. Let's see if the bubble's nice. It is. Hydra is a little bit random in terms of how nice it wants to be. It has a couple different paths it can jump, and it also depends on how far away you are from it. There we go. So hopefully, oops, I'm a little too far or too close. So now hopefully I should just be able to sit here and keep spamming my club. There's a chance that it could do a higher jump that will hit me. Crossing my fingers. There we go. It was good. So now we're going to pick up the Sword of Fairies. This thing does twice as much damage as the club, so already it's a pretty nice upgrade on its own. But it is the only weapon that we have right now that can damage the Cyclops, which we need to kill to get outside of the forest. So it is very much required for this run.
Yeah, pretty much all the items that we pick up in the 80% run are just to actually progress to the next item. We're not really grabbing anything that we don't need, so it's very convenient. It's strange that the routing works out as well as it does for that.
It really does. And there is only going to be one item that we pick up that's unnecessary, and that is the shield. So you see that shield on our sprite right now? It is actually doing nothing for us right now. Once we pick up the shield, it will kind of do something. So here's the harp. We can use it to both stun the harpy and call Pegasus, who will transport us between different locations as long as we play it at a Pillar of the Sun. And the Pillars of the Sun are very conveniently located for this route. Here we're going to pick up an Ambrosia from the tree. This is the only health upgrade that we're going to be getting in this entire run, so we're just going to be doing this whole thing with 12 health. I'm going to try and stun lock this. Oop, almost. I got my hopes up. No olive, that's fine. So here's Laconia. It is a very dangerous area, lots of monkeys and birds. Monkeys can sometimes randomly pause their jumps, and birds have different random positions and trajectories that they spawn at. And the birds do 4 damage, so they are very much things that you want to avoid.
Right now, you'll see that Karma is walking through a dark area to get to Poseidon. She's going to spend 60 olives here to pick up the ocarina. It's our first actual purchase, but we do need the ocarina. The dark areas can actually be lit up by the Staff of Fennel that she mentioned earlier, but since we don't get that, we just do everything in the dark. And if you don't know the patterns, there are pits in some of these areas, and it is very dangerous, but we're speedrunners, so we just learn everything.
Oops. That is one thing about this game. You use up to both enter doors and climb up stairs. Speaking of stairs, the stairs are actually both great and terrible at the same time, kind of like Castlevania stairs. You're really locked onto them when you're climbing up them, but at the same time, if you get hit by an enemy, there's no hits or there's no knockback. So you can definitely use them to your advantage to anchor yourself. We're going to use the ocarina here to cross the ocean and hope that we get good fish patterns. And while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and select the harp because it's the next item we're going to need. Hopefully the harpy here is nice. Perfect, okay. So now here's the section in the dark. I just jumped over a death pit. And now we hope that the Gree, aka definitely not Wizrobes, are polite to us. All right, that was good. We picked up the orb, jump over the death pit, drop down, jump up again, and we are free.
You'll also notice on the way that Karma picked up a flask. That is the Grecian version of an E-tank, and we will require that later in the run.
Yes. Excuse me. We'll use the harp to get back to our favorite location, Arcadia, because we need to get up to 70 olives. And you know what that means.
More grinding.
So, yeah, I think now would be a great time for some donations.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Didgery, for the $5 donation. Shout out to my friend Mouse on the couch. Thank you very much, Accord, for the $10 donation. I've been waiting all AGDQ for this. I used to watch my mom play Battle of Olympus all the time when I was little, so thank you so much, Karma, for running it.
Sure thing.
Yes, thanks to everyone for a great event so far, and keep doing what you all do best.
The easiest way to farm these is to just kind of hang out up here until they're stacked up.
Thank you very much, Xkeeper, for the $25 donation.
Oh no.
Hopefully, the randomness gives you olive, the luck, and keeps the leaves at bay.
Xkeeper tortures me nonstop with these puns, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, sorry to Olive, the people that had to hear my bad olive puns.
Thank you, XK.
Thank you very much, Megmac Attack, for the $100 donation. Go Karma, get all those olives.
Thanks, Meg.
Thank you very much, Bazmith, for the $100 donation. This donation is in honor of the person who dances in the front row seat between runs. Amazing rhythm and enthusiasm. Donation goes to Dancer's Choice if someone can ask.
I'm sure somebody will be able to get it from them.
We got it. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kate, for the $10 donation. I figured there was no better time to make my first donation than when one of my most important friends was doing their first GDQ run. Good luck, Karma. P.S. Scrunt.
Scrunt. It's the failed Neopet that really never should have been. Well, thankfully it never was.
So right now you're seeing Karma get a little bit of the normal luck that we do with all the grind, where we get all bay leaves and nothing else. So this is why arcading music is torturous to us, because a lot of times we will stay here a lot longer than we should. So
this is pretty brutal luck here, but that's kind of why I have my estimate set at 40 minutes. Normally these runs will take like 31 to 33 minutes, but if the olive luck is very rude and I have some bad deaths, then it easily can start pushing 40.
I think one thing we can mention is there is actually one area in Battle of Olympus we don't visit at all in the 80% speedrun. It's Phrygia, and it's actually quite disappointing because Phrygia actually has the best music in the game, and we don't ever get to hear it, so.
All right, so we have our 70 olives. Let's get going. We can finally stop farming olives.
And now that we do have all of our olives, once we make our final purchase, and we don't care about all this anymore, we will actually start abusing death warps. It's a quicker way to get to places that we need to go, so since we can do it, we will do it.
All right, so our next journey here is going to be through Argolis, and our goal is to pick up the first fragment of love. We need all 3 of them to show the path to Tartarus. There's a way you can get to the third one through damage boosting, but you still need all 3 so it doesn't wind up doing anything if you just collect the third one. So unfortunately, no sequence breaks there. Actually, maybe thankfully, I'm not sure.
Now, we do need to collect this one first because in order to get to the second one, we need a key. And the old man won't give us a key until we get the first love fragment.
Yep, and this helps us prove that we are indeed Jotaro. So here's Agatha telling us what happened and how she got bitten by a snake and taken to Hades. So next up, I'm going to grab the harp because we're going to make a quick trip over to Attica. And thankfully, we don't care about olives, so I'm not even going to bother picking any up. Not too worried about that bay leaf either, because we're about to get a full health refill. Another trip with Pegasus.
So as soon as Karma enters Attica, she's immediately going to kneel in front of the fountain, and this will refill her stamina and fill that flask that we got earlier. And now we're going to talk to Athena to get the useless shield. It does something, but only if you're standing still and not giving any inputs. We're more concerned about this password because the next area is one of the most dangerous in the game.
Yeah, there are so many death pits and hard-hitting monsters in Thea, which I'm pretty sure I just made Press on the couch back there feel a little nervous about just mentioning the name of the place. So here's the key. We need that to get to the second love fragment. Some randomly bouncing satyrs and some annoying scorpions, but they don't do much damage, so it's not too big of a deal if I do take damage. Let's see, we need the ocarina next to wake up Gaia.
So this little bear there, I think that's what they are actually. Sometimes we hope for a drop because he'll, as you see, come back with a spear. If Gaia happens to fall, he can actually make the Gaia fight a lot more complicated, but Gaia didn't fall, so we're good.
Yeah, the goal for that fight is to keep him up on the top platform. So we're hoping this bird here, we're hoping it drops something so it doesn't respawn, but it's being a bit of a nuisance. It was not a really...
And that's why we take the password.
Very much so. So now we hit retry, and we're back here with all of our olives, and, well, all of them. And we're gonna grab this key one more time. I think there's enough time for a couple donations here while I get back to where I was.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for the $25 donation. I remember getting this game just after release when I was 10. Love GDQ, the causes you support, and of course the runners. But man, you guys know how to make me feel old. Best of luck, Karma.
Thank you.
Okay, so we get Gaia fight number 2. Hopefully same good pattern.
Yeah, it's just a matter of not hitting Gaia too quickly there. All right, so we're back to where we were. Hopefully this monkey is nice. Close enough. All right, this bird looks a lot easier. And we got a drop, thank goodness.
Taking damage by the monkey actually is not bad because we are going to use the Death Warp as soon as we get the Divine Sword at the back end of Thea here. So we actually want to take damage, so we have to spam as least as possible. You'll see this spamming that Karma does in just a second.
This screen is pretty tricky, but that monkey decided to delay at an actually helpful time. Oh, wow, geez. All right, so that rock was really scary because it would have knocked me off into a pit easily. All right, so now we're about to purchase the Divine Sword for 70 olives, and this sword both does double damage compared to the sword we're using, and it gives us the power of Argus, which lets us shoot lightning at the cost of half a bar of health. So we're going to tell Hephaestus what we think about his shins.
As an aside, you can definitely tell that Hephaestus, Hermes, and Poseidon are related, can't you?
Exact same sprite. Gotta love NES limitations. So now we're gonna make a trip over to the right, and our goal this time is to get the second fragment of love. Hopefully these birds, actually I don't really care too much if I take a hit from them. I'm gonna be taking another death warp here, so I do wanna take some, but not too much damage. And there's gonna be a little bit of an input thing here that I jump over with, and I'll take a hit from the arrow. And I'm gonna spam some lightning here on my way, to this hidden door, which by the way, an NPC tells you about, so all this secretive stuff that I'm doing does actually get hinted at in the game. So here's another message from Agatha to our hero Jotaro. And I apologize, I am not versed in JoJo, so I cannot make very good jokes or references.
And once again, we were talking about the convenience of the speedrun, sort of just putting you exactly where you need to go. Well, we're going to call Pegasus again, and we're going to drop right back in Laconia, and that will allow us to go to the next area, which is Crete.
That monkey decided to delay quite a bit there. That was a little bit scary, but here we're going to cross. Oop. I was trying to get over both fish, so I accidentally took a hit from the first fish there. Here we go. Thankfully, we didn't have a bird over us that time. The combination of the birds and fish can make some of those patterns really, really obnoxious. So coming up here is Crete, which is a gigantic maze, and it is an absolute pain to get through casually. But if you have a map or you just know the speedrun route, then it's not so bad. Here's Talos. He's really excited to show us his axe, but we're just gonna kind of pass by him for now. And up here, we're gonna jump over some Amazons. And the next door that I'm about to go through, you'll see that I'm gonna go around it. Your momentum does carry through doors, so if we go with that from the right side, it gets under the Slimer, wannabe. And if we go from the left side here, lets us hit that, Amazon in the shins. The most effective location to defeat enemies. And I'm gonna need a bit of silence here to make sure I can stun lock this effectively. Oops, not quite. So you kind of saw what I was trying to do there. The Minotaur takes 16 hits, but you need to have your sword out on the first frame that it is vulnerable to being attacked to keep it completely stun locked. So you want to hit your sword just before it becomes vulnerable again, so it's kind of a timing game on that. And if we do it right, we'll just push him back into the wall and hit it 16 times. So we're just gonna get our way back there.
Yeah, the Minotaur will actually take us out in 2 hits if we touch him, and 4, I believe, with his axes. So we can't really take much damage, and there is an audio cue that we can use to sort of help us with that first frame hit. So that's why we asked for the silence. So once again, more silence.
A little too early there. Okay, hold on. Need to get the hammers away. We're good, we're good. Oh my God, please, thank you. There we go.
There we go.
So yeah, the death music played, but we used the flask in time, so I will need to refill the flask. Thankfully, there is a spot where we can do so right outside this door. Here's the final fragment of love, and by getting that, we now reveal the path to Tartarus. So we're actually pretty close to the home stretch of this game here. Don't mind me, just gonna look at the timer. Oh, nice. We're making good time here.
I trust this final battle will be similar to the myth where he just plays a really, really nice song, right?
Sure, we'll go with that. Let's see, so we're gonna go ahead and pop in here, grab a refill on the flask, and then get our ocarina ready.
The final battle, actually, you're not even going to see it as it was intended to be played because we totally skipped one of the key items for that battle.
Yeah.
So instead, we're just going to fight Hades in the dark.
Yeah. And I guess while we have a little bit of downtime here, I might as well mention it. Normally to shoot lightning... Oh, actually, wait, there's something I want to point out up here. So this Talos is really, really excited to show us his axe to the point where he will walk on water to do so. So here's the entrance to Tartarus. I might just have to explain the Hades boss fight afterwards. Left, left, right, left is the pathway through. An NPC in Crete will tell you. Here's Cerberus. He only has 2 heads, but when you destroy one of them, it will start regenerating health and eventually come back if you don't keep comboing him. And, okay, we're good. That can be a little bit scary if you hit him too quickly. As you saw, it pushes him up the wall, and he can actually just straight up jump over you and go all over the place. So these bats are dangerous enough that even in any percent, I will jump at them to lead them away from hitting me into this pit, because if you die here, you have to go through that entire little maze section and fight Cerberus again. Okay, so just need to wait for this bubble to get out of the way. Thankfully, that bat was nice.
Basically, every time you hear the music reset in Tartarus,
Like right here?
like right here, it is a checkpoint. And these 2 screens are probably the worst screens in the game.
Absolute terrible with RNG. We got okay through the first screen, and now we're just kind of relying on this snake to be nice, which it is not being, so that's fine. We'll just hit continue and try these 2 screens again.
So for what it's worth, Cerberus dying was a dog dying, so that is, in fact, a JoJo's reference.
There we go.
Close enough, I think. I really don't like when the snake delays its hits, or delays its first fireballs, because that means it's probably gonna shoot right when I get there. And that monkey decided to delay its jump, so these 2 screens definitely living up to their reputation. I think the biggest time save in my current record, which is 27:29, was these 2 screens not killing me. Here we go. So we're gonna hit another checkpoint here. This game is very generous with checkpoints in the last couple areas. Gonna hit these Slimers down below. I call them Slimers. They might have a more official name, but I don't know it. I should probably check the manual.
They're not in the manual, so we'll go with Slimers.
All right.
Thank you very much, Silver Moon, for the $25 donation. This, which is definitely not Zelda or Rambo, is pretty good. I'll live it.
It is the best Zelda 2 to ever not Zelda 2.
This is for Super Mario RPG QX fight.
Okay, so here we're coming up on Hades' Temple, and the first thing we're gonna do is take a death warp here, and then we're gonna make a really tricky jump here, so I'm hoping all my save state practice paid off. First try, all right.
That's like 5 precise inputs in order to be able to do that. It is a very difficult jump that Karma makes look very easy.
Yeah, if you saw me in the practice room at all, you would have seen me reloading on my EverDrive constantly there. Speaking of the practice room, it was kind of amazing. Just before this run, I was playing this, and in the reflection of this game was Zelda 2. So we're gonna do some little tricks here to get through without really taking any damage. There's one intentional hit that we're gonna take up here. We've got some visual cues to jump on here. Oh, a little too early. Okay, we're good. We're gonna lock ourselves on these stairs so that if we get hit by the gargoyles, we don't get knocked back into that pit there. And speaking of that pit, that jump right there is very dangerous. We will very easily fall into that pit. Take a hit here from the snake. Stop on the 3rd stair, don't forget it. Okay, so here's Agatha, but we need to defeat Hades first. So I'm gonna go ask for some silence here. Oops, okay. So we need to be careful here. He's standing right above us and swinging his sword. So if we swing once,
Time is coming up.
Oh, wait, I have to hold up. Time.
33:26.
Nice. So the way that end fight is supposed to work is that you're supposed to have the moon crystal to be able to see him, and then you use it and it reflects everything, so you're actually fighting in the reflections for the first half of the fight, and then you just start actually seeing him. To shoot lightning, you have to hold up and B, But to crouch and do it, you have to hold down, press B, then quickly press up, and then obviously you want to go straight back to down. It's not very difficult to do once, but doing it consistently can definitely be quite a challenge. Anyway, I really want to thank all of you for letting me play this game. I was actually really surprised to see that it got in, and I'm absolutely ecstatic that it got a chance to be here. And again, we'll see in the credits here that literally 3 people worked on this game. Jeremy Parrish has a really good interview for this game. Definitely recommend checking it out on US Gamer. Is there anything else you want to say, Crim?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Definitely try the game out casually. It seems intimidating because of a lot of the grinding, but it's a real fun game. I enjoyed it as a child, and that's why I actually picked it up as speedrunning it, is just because of how much I enjoyed it. So definitely a game worthy of the hype that we've been giving it. So
Yeah. And one last thing that I'd like to show off before I hand it off here. So here's the end. But if you really want to, you can hit start and start the whole credits scene over again. And with that, I think we're handing it off for Vice Project Doom.
Vice Project Doom will be the next game, but first we are going to have an interview for the runners of Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2, swordsmankirby, and Garatus21. But first, round of applause for Karma. Wonderful run.
Hey guys, I'm here with the upcoming runners of Chippendale 2 Rescue Rangers, Garatus on your left, and swordsmankirby on your right. Now this is going to be a really interesting run because it's not any normal race. It's a 1-player, 2 controllers race. So each of these guys is going to be holding 2 controllers in their hand. Swordsmankirby, can you tell me what exactly that means and what it involves?
Yeah, so it means doing one of the controller's inputs upside down, essentially. Like, you need to do both, like the D-pad on one controller and the other controller, and also the A and B buttons on the other controller at the same time.
And that's how you hold it as well, Garatus?
Yeah, I just use, he's using the dog bone and I'm using the brick. That's the only difference we have.
Okay, so like, I like you guys. You're both awesome, you're both handsome, but I don't believe you. I'm gonna need you to prove it right here. I brought some props. I wanna see this. Can you please hold the controllers the way you would during the run?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just use a
So it's like,
duct tape like this.
Oh, okay, so you stack it like that. So it's,
Yeah.
okay, got it.
And I control my first character with my thumbs.
Okay,
The second
and
one,
then on the back, you got the
Yeah.
D-pad. Okay, got it.
like this.
Got it. So then why is the second player so important to the run, Garatus? What exactly does it do?
Yeah, it basically avoids you from waiting, prevents you from waiting the enemies from spawning all those projectiles that are completely RNG and may take you minutes before you actually complete the fight. With, for example, the last fight with 2 players is just 15 seconds, maybe. And with 1 player, it will be 4 or 5 minutes if you get current RNG. So that's the main difference. Also, he will explain maybe better. There are some skips possible that you can do. Like in the in Chippendale 1 co-op, you take intentional deaths to trigger the balloon animation on the dead character, and you skip certain parts of the game.
Got it. Is there anything else in the stages that you feel is different, Swordsmankirby?
you know, being an NES game from that era, it tends to lag more with 2 players, but the faster boss strategies and the death abuse is more than makes up for that time.
Got it. But it must add such a level of challenge. Do you feel like having that, like being able to control, needing to control 2 players adds that like significant challenge?
Yeah, I think, yeah, for me, like the main thing that drew me to this game was definitely the possibility of doing 1-player 2 controllers. Like for Rescue Rangers 1, I think it's a little bit, the characters are a little bit more independent from each other, but in this one, they're a little bit more dependent on each other. So
Gotcha.
it's more feasible to do 1-player 2 controllers for this game.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm just thinking, if I'm holding the controllers like that and thinking I'm controlling the main character with one and I'm just trying to like, so I saw the run, it looks like you're carrying the other character for a lot of it, but then sometimes you throw him and you need to control the other character as well. I mean, like if you're ever needing to control both at the same time, does that add, that would blow up my brain.
There is actually a part of the run where you control both at the same time. In the last stage, you start not carrying the other character over your head. You have to do 2 jumps, jump with one and then jump with the second, not at the same time. So jump and jump. So you have to think, okay, I have to use my middle finger and then my thumb.
Yeah.
And while I'm using my thumb, I have to grab a box and then throw it. So, but that's maybe the part where you're doing it the most. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's mostly just kind of one at a time. You're either carrying, I guess, one character is carrying the other. You're controlling that character. You throw that character, the second character, and then you're controlling the second character, like for the rest of the screen. Is that kind of right?
Yes, there are a couple screens that go like that. Yeah.
Cool, cool. And then, so if you guys were to do, say, a 2-player run with each other, would you be changing strategies at all, or are you doing everything that would normally be done in a 2-player run?
I've never thought about that, but for the most part of the run, it would be the same because maybe some more skips would be possible. Some stuff that TAS does, which we're not doing because of the weird 2-control thing.
Yeah.
But maybe just looking at the TAS and find something we're not doing now.
Got it.
Yeah, like the whole thing about Chip carrying Dale is not merely just like a 1-player 2-controller convenience, but actually, the game sort of thinks that's one object, so it doesn't lag as much when one character is carrying the other.
Got it. So I actually ran Rescue Rangers 1 in the past, so I was a bit curious. What made you guys, I think that's the more kind of accessible, known game. Have each of you played that game as well?
Yes.
And what made you say, okay, I love that game, I kind of want to try the second one as well?
Well, for me, I ran DuckTales 1 and 2. I wanted to try the second one, but the 1-player run, I didn't really like the other category because of the heavy RNG in the boss fights. So I found out that there was this other category that Sinister was running, and then I said, well, let's try it. It's not that RNG heavy, it's short enough, and it's challenging, so let's try it.
Got it. Cool, cool. Well, thank you so much. Actually, coming up right next, we have Gardas here playing Vice Project Doom. Right after that will be Rescue Rangers 2. Before that, I want to hear about some prizes. What do we got coming up?
Hey, Blechy. Thanks for throwing it over to me. We got some great prizes for you this morning, guys. Let's see. For all the prizes we're going to be talking about right now are from the upcoming run of now until Bastion. So keep an eye out for them. So from our good friends over at Studio Pinpin, we have this beautiful Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers picture here. I love this picture. It's actually got a really fun story behind it. The artist over at Studio Pinpin found just this, picture from strawberries in a field at a thrift store and thought, you know what? This kind of looks like a fun scene to edit Chip and Dale into. So they, just did some quick painting, put Chip and Dale in it, and I love the result. It looks absolutely adorable. And I believe this is a $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Bastion, which is coming up in a few runs. So keep an eye out on that. Some other great stuff we have, guys. We have a wonderful Chip and Dale Perler set that are also magnets, and they come with these beautiful little stands from our good friend Nick Franklin. Super cool Perlers. Wish we had him here to show you guys right now, but we have a great picture of him over in the tracker, gamesdonequick.com. It's going to have the information you need. $5 minimum donation from now until the end of Bastion. Guys, keep in mind, we have the beautiful AGDQ2019 banner featuring a bunch of RPG characters. Next Level is the name LLK gave to it. It's a $50 minimum donation. It's a one-of-a-kind banner made specifically for AGDQ 2019 by our wonderful in-house artist, LLK. She's the one who's been doing those amazing pieces of artwork you guys have been seeing in the interview area all weekend. Again, $50 minimum donation. It's open from now until the end of Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars. That's any point today. Just make sure to get those donations in. From our friends over at Hashtag Collectibles, we have this adorable little piranha beanie cap. It's a $10 minimum donation. And you can just stick it on your head. It'll eat you alive. It's adorable. I love it. Falls off sometimes. I got a big head. I know that. No one needs to tell me. Don't worry. I'm on it. like I said, $10 minimum donation from now until a bit later on. From our good friend NES Jumpman, we have a Nintendo Wii travel mug. You know, just a super useful coffee mug with the Wii label and some packet branding on it. Super cool. $5 minimum donation from now until the end of Bastion. Make sure to get those donations in for it. And guys, keep in mind that all the donations that you're putting forward right now are getting your way in to win the grand prize we have. We have an absolutely amazing Hylian shield and master sword sent to us by Heroic Replicas. They are amazing. They're both full metal. They weigh a good 10, 15 pounds each. They're wonderfully designed. You've seen them in the background of our interview set this entire weekend, and you'll likely continue to see them because I just love them too much to put them away. That is a $250 minimum donation, but it's cumulative, so that means, hey, get a few donations in now, get a few donations in later, and you can get yourself in for a chance to win that sword and shield combo. Just as a reminder, guys, we're about 20K away from a Sonic Mania bonus run a little later today. You guys are really going to want to see that run, so make sure to get those donations in. And if you guys are ever curious about upcoming games, incentives, prizes that you guys can win, donate towards, put your money to, head over to gamesdonequick.com, check out the tracker. It's going to have all the information you need. I think that just about does it for me. So real quick, I want to remind you that today's prize segment has been brought to you by that thing where people pretend to walk downstairs. Pretending to walk downstairs, that thing that makes you think you can pantomime when you really can't. Take it away, guys.
Yes, thank you very much for that update, Sense. Alrighty then. Currently, we have a bid war going for Sanic Ball. Currently, Knuckles is in the lead at $944, with Sanic trailing not too far behind at $370. So make sure to get in any character choices that you may have. And we're also still have a big challenge going right now for Sonic Mania Plus as a bonus game. I'm sure you would all love to see that. So please be sure to keep donating towards Sonic Mania Plus so we can get that into the marathon. Thank you very much, Anonymous, for the $50 donation. Love AGDQ, favorite time of the year. Let's get that Sonic Mania race in. Good luck to all the runners. Thank you very much, 8 Tasty Bits, for the $200 donation. Nest block! Yes, magical block, the nest block. Thank you very much, Ochi, for the $15 donation. First-time donor, long-time watcher. Shout-outs to my boy Butters, who is the best AGDQ donation reader of all time. Thank you very much for speaking the truth, Ochi. Thank you very much, Sonic the Hedgehog, for the $50 donation. $50 towards Sonic Mania Race. Hopefully we can make this game popular enough to get Sonic Mania 2. Thank you very much, Edgar Vasquez, for the $25 donation. This donation goes out to the countless people that have battled cancer, specifically to my cousin Christian. Thank you, AGDQ, for putting such amazing events such as this. Thank you, Karma, for bringing back all the great memories I had as a kid playing this game, which was Battle of Olympus. And he wished her luck on her run, and her run did, in fact, go quite well.